Two teams build the exact same automation this month. Same 8 steps, same number of runs. One of them pays $19, the other opens an invoice for $340. Same work, same output, same result for the business. The gap between those two invoices has almost nothing to do with which tool is better. It has to do with what each tool decided to count. This is Great Learning AI. We teach working professionals to use AI tools. Today, 3 questions to ask before you put your card into Zapier, Make, or n8n. And here's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to crown a winner. Anybody who crowns a winner in a video like this has not seen your workflow, your volume, or your team. And one of those 3 decides the answer for you. By the end of this, you'll be able to run the numbers yourself in about 12 minutes on a napkin. But before we sketch that out, let's establish one ground rule. AI isn't a trend you can just wait out. It's a permanent fixture on your org chart. And if you are a working professional and you want to make the best use of AI and automation at your work, do check out this AI native professional course of ours, which gives you 6 weeks of mentor-guided learning. More on this at the end of the video. If you've compared these 3 tools before and walked away confused, that wasn't you being slow. Here's why. When 3 companies compete, the only thing they can show side by side is a feature list, integrations, templates, AI agents. So that's what every blog post and most videos are made of. And in 2026, those lists have basically become the same. All 3 shipped AI agents this year. Zapier has Zapier agents. Make has its Maya assistant. n8n released version 2.0 in January. Line them up on features and you get 3 columns that look alike. What is not the same and never goes in a chart is what each one counts as one unit of work. Zapier counts a task. That's one action step. A 10-step workflow bills you close to 10 times every run. Make counts a credit, one module run. And here's a detail almost every video on this topic is a year out of date on. Make retired the word operations back in August 2025 and moved to credits, 1 for 1. But AI-powered modules can burn more than 1 credit each. So if your scenario is AI heavy, the old flat math undercounts you. n8n counts an execution, 1 workflow run. 5 steps or 50, it's 1. Think about what that does to the word cheaper. Cheaper isn't a property of a tool. It's a property of your workflow's shape times your volume. A 5-step flow and a 50-step flow, both running 200 times a month, are the same size on n8n and 10 times apart on Zapier. Nobody could tell you that because it can't go in a chart. It needs your numbers in it. And there's no second chance. These workflows don't move. There's no export button that turns a make scenario into an n8n node. Outgrow your tool in 6 months and you don't migrate, you rebuild. So you weren't comparing badly, you were comparing the only thing they handed you. 3 questions actually decide this, and I call it meter, map, mechanic. Meter is what it costs to run. Map is what it costs to build. Mechanic is what it costs to keep. Every tool on this list is cheap on one of those 3 and expensive on another. Nobody tells you which, so let's go one at a time. In December 1996, America Online changed one number. You used to pay $9.95 for 5 hours online. They switched everyone to $19.95 for unlimited. Same service, same modems. One change to the meter. They didn't change what the product did, they changed what it counted. That alone changed everything. Here's why that's your problem too. The meter decides what you're willing to build. On Zapier, every step costs money, so you build short. You skip the enrichment, you skip the cleanup, and your automation stays a little dumber than it should be, permanently, for money reasons. One correction, because the internet is unfair to Zapier here. Triggers are free, and so are the built-in tools like Filter and Formatter. Zapier isn't greedy. It's expensive when your workflows are long. On Make, every module is a credit. The classic mistake isn't complexity. It's a trigger checking a folder every 5 minutes, burning credits whether anything shows up or not. On n8n, complexity really is free. 50 steps cost the same as 5. Host it yourself and the per run cost goes to 0. You pay for a server instead. So here's the pen and paper. 3 lines, using last month's real numbers. Steps times runs. That's your Zapier number. Modules times runs. That's your make number. Add a cushion if any of them are AI. Just the runs, ignoring steps completely. That's your n8n number. Take those 3 to the 3 pricing pages and do it for where you'll be in 12 months, not today. So now you know what it costs to run, and that number tells you nothing about whether you can build the thing at all. But a cheap meter is useless if the tool can't hold the shape of your logic. That's where we go next. Map. The second question is not how many integrations. The question is, can you see your own logic? Picture the ugliest job on your desk. One supplier invoice with 30 line items on it. Or one lead that has to go 3 different directions depending on which country it came from. Zapier is a list, top to bottom. Fastest thing on earth for a straight line, painful the moment your logic branches. Make is a canvas. Drag a router and your data splits on screen. When it breaks, you look at the picture and point at where it stopped. n8n is a canvas with an escape hatch. And this is the part that makes people nervous. It has a code node. And the moment we hear code, most of us assume the conversation isn't for us. What it actually means is this. n8n ships with a few hundred ready-made connections, plus one general-purpose node that can talk to almost any tool with an open door. That integration count isn't a ceiling, but you only get that advantage if someone on your team is already comfortable in there. So take that ugly job, not a Slack notification, the ugly one, and build it on the free tier of all 3 before you pay anybody. You're not testing whether they work, they all work. You're testing which one you'll still understand a month from now. So meter is what it costs to run, map is what it costs to build, but both of those are one-time answers. You do the math once, you build the thing once, and then it runs for 2 years without you looking at it. Which brings us to the only question that isn't printed on any pricing page. The third question, in one sentence: when this breaks, who finds out and can they fix it? Because automation doesn't fail loudly. That's the whole problem with it. A broken automation doesn't crash. It quietly stops doing one step, and everything downstream keeps running like normal. You find out 3 weeks later when somebody asks why the leads stopped arriving. So every automation comes with an invisible line item, a person who notices, and who knows enough to fix it. That person is the real subscription, and the 3 tools need very different amounts of them. Zapier needs the least. It emails you, it pauses the workflow, and usually the same non-technical person who built it can fix it. That's a big part of what the premium is actually buying. Make needs a bit more. The failure shows up on the canvas so you can see it, but more moving parts means more places to look. n8n on the cloud needs somebody comfortable with how data is structured, not a software engineer, but not your marketing intern either. And n8n on your own server needs all of that, plus an IT department, because now you own uptime, updates, backups, and security too. Self-hosting is free the way a puppy is free. So 2 things to do before you pay anyone. 1. Say this out loud in the meeting. If this breaks on a Tuesday, who fixes it? Name a person, not a department. If the answer is a contractor who already left, you don't have an automation. You have a liability with a monthly subscription. 2. Turn on failure notifications and send them somewhere a human actually looks. A shared inbox nobody reads is just 97 emails again. The subscription is the cheap part. The mechanic is the real price, and it renews every month whether you budgeted for it or not. Now let me take apart what I just gave you. First, most teams don't pick one. They run 2, Zapier or Make, where the business team helps itself. n8n underneath, where the volume or the privacy rules say otherwise. That's not indecision. That's what happens when 3 tools price the same work 3 different ways. Second, the bigger one. Meter, map, and mechanic tell you what to buy. They cannot tell you what's worth automating. Because here's what usually happens. Somebody automates the process they already have. And a bad process, automated, isn't a fixed process. It's a bad process that now runs 400 times a day and sends you a bill for it. Before you build anything, write the process on one page. Every step, every exception, in plain words. If you can't fit it on one page, no tool on this list is going to save you, and the $20 a month was never the expensive part. These platforms are a meter, a canvas, and a maintenance contract. Deciding what deserves to be automated at all is still your job. That part never went on sale. Automation never fixes a broken process, it just runs it faster and sends you the bill. Run the 3 numbers this week, because the professionals who win this decade won't be the ones treating AI like a chatbot. They'll be the ones treating it like an engine. And that transition, from just talking to AI to actually building with it, is exactly why we built our AI Native Professional course. It's a live 6-week interactive course where expert mentors give you tailored guidance to master these tools and build custom automations without needing to write a single line of code. You get the exact blueprints to automate your routine tasks, so you can reclaim 10+ hours a week. The link is down in the description and pinned comment, so definitely check it out. And if you like this video, do check out the other videos on our channel and hit that subscribe button. See you in the next one.